Hello, my friends and fellow VEDSies. Welcome to like day 8 or 9. I've kind of lost count already. I wanted to make my life a little easier today, so I'm going to do a quick little one-take video about a story I thought you guys might find fun. I was thinking about fandoms and stuff I have talked about and stuff I haven't talked about. And my favorite YouTube content creators are... I would have to say it's the Game Grumps. I watch their videos every day when they make a new one, pretty much, and they wind up in the background of almost all the video editing and everything that I do. They're just kind of running in the background. They're like a long compilation of their videos or something. My sister introduced me to them like literally 11 years ago when they were pretty new, yeah, I'm on their Patreon and all that stuff, and obviously they're hugely popular. I've seen their live show a couple of times, and it's awesome. So anyway, flashback to 2 years ago. I am at Disneyland. I did a little bit of vlogging from that trip, but not too much. And I was in line to ride Rise of the Resistance. Game Grumps is two people. It's Aaron and Dan. And yeah, I spend pretty much every day of my life watching some part of their content at some point. But I'm in line for Rise of the Resistance, kind of looking around, and I see a circle of people with people who keep kind of coming up to talk to them, and just unmistakably I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? That's Dan Avidan. That's Danny from Game Grumps, aka Danny from, he has a comedy band called Ninja Sex Party as well. So... big deal, this Dan Avidan. I'm just freaking out. I'm in line and people are just passing me because my jaw is just open staring. And I was like, I'm not usually this guy, but I've got to do it. So I ducked out of the line that I had been waiting in for like 45 minutes already and kind of waddled over, but I guess he'd moved from where he originally was. They were kind of being, they had like their guest services person sort of assigned to them and getting them in the like back door of all the attractions they wanted to film on, and they were kind of being ushered into the Rise of the Resistance over at Galaxy's Edge, and I saw Dan going inside, and I just had to. I kind of stopped. I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, but like I love your videos and always have, and you're a big inspiration. And it was awesome. He stopped and he turned to me and smiled and like was fully attentive while I was talking. And I guess I probably rambled a little bit. I was like, I made a comment that I'm glad he took positively, because I was like, I meant it to be a great compliment, but I'm 28 now, and that leads to me thinking sometimes that maybe I'm a little bit behind in my music journey or whatever, and I should be famous by now or whatever, but he started his life in music and really didn't, it really wasn't in a, like, majorly successful project till he was, like, 32, 33, somewhere in there. So I was like, I made some comment to him like, your story, makes me feel like I still have some time. You've had such an amazing career, and you, started a little bit older than I am now. And he was like, wow, that's so amazing to hear. And he was like very kind. He was like, what's your music? Let me look it up on my phone. And I told him I'm Graham Strang, blah, blah, blah. And I assume he was just humoring me, but he was like, oh yeah, no, I'll copy that down. That's awesome. And as I'm talking to him, I see that Aaron, the other half of Game Grumps, just kind of comes up behind him. And, like, obviously, he's, like, going to engage him in conversation, but he's just waiting for us to be done. And I'm just standing there, like, kind of freaking out. But I wrapped it up. I made the executive decision. I was like, I've already rambled to Dan. I'm not going to bother both of them. And I know Dan has said in the past he's the more, I don't want to say more approachable. They both are, but he's the more outgoing of the two. So anyway, I was just like, okay, enjoy the ride, blah, blah, blah. And the final end to this story is several hours later. I'm on Main Street, USA, doing some shopping, and I just hear, oh my god, it's Graham Strang! And I turn around, and it's Dan again, and he sort of gives me a fist bump as he's going by. It was so funny. I had a split second of who would recognize my name. The fact that he retained my entire full name the whole day was wild to me. I got back to the hotel room, at the end of the day, and I immediately called Alicia. I was like, I met Dan from Game Grumps. So that was amazing. He could not have been sweeter. I'm sure it's annoying to try to go to Disneyland and get stopped by like fans all the time. They are quite a big deal. And he was just so upbeat to talk to me. He seemed genuinely excited about the things I was saying and retained my whole name. And just a surreal experience to have Dan Avidan be like, oh my god, it's Graham Strang. Anyway, that's pretty much my whole story. I thought it was a fun story. Yeah, he's probably had thousands of interactions like that in his life, and he still makes the most out of them. And I was already probably going to be a fan for life, but now I am for sure. That'll do it for this video. I'll catch you again tomorrow and every day for the rest of this month. Links to the channels for all of the other wonderful fellow VEDSies who are making a video every day this month can be found in the description. And yeah, I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Thanks for listening.